Afilu sha'adayin haylech, even if it's still working. Also la'arichai b'Shabbos v'yontiv, shelo yafsik halichosei. Today, most clock, the wristwatch that we have a battery and you don't have to wind it up. It works continuously. But years ago, even today, the very, very expensive watches, you have to wind them up. That's more kosher. So the shaila is, when the watch stops working, so it's called a tikkun mona, like fixing it on Shabbos. It was wound up to work for, let's say, 20 hours. And it stopped Shabbos morning. It's like broken. And when you want to wind it up, it's going to start working again. But so that's a shag of tikkun mona. No. Again. One second. Okay, let's read it again. Klei ha'moide as a choice. A keli that shows you the time. And he says, what's the afilu sha'adayin haylech, even if it's not working, is this the broken? It's broken. So if you wind it up and it's going to work again, of course, but you fix it. So now he's saying that afilu sha'adayin haylech, even while it's still working, is also la'arichai b'Shabbos v'yontiv shelo yafsik, that it shouldn't stop. In other words, they know that you have to wind up the clock every 20 hours. And they know, Moshe, that this clock is going to stop working at this time. So before that, you wind it up. And maybe you wind it up, it's going to work now. It wouldn't stop when it was supposed to stop, and it'll work more. So that you're not allowed to do it. Ubiyontav sheni yesh lahakol kol zman sha'adayin haylech laharich l'tzarech hayim. In other words, it's like a tzarech mitzvah. So Yontav sheni b'chawu mekel, because Yontav sheni is only is just it's really not a Yontav. It's just because the minig of a seinu biyadenu. It's not really a yontav, so if it's a tzarech yontav, so we'll make it. Avol lo'el tzarech yom shel achov. It's not because you want it to keep working because you're going to need something, you're calculating something for the next day. Or tzarech chayla, if you need it for a sick person, like let's say the person has to take medicine every 6 hours. So you have to keep a cheshbon of 6 hours. In other words, if you have an Eini Yehudi going to do it for you, is okay. And if not, you are not allowed. Now, this becomes the shaila about wearing a watch on Shabbos.
Nothing with carrying.
There's two, first of all, there's two different kind of watches. There used to be a Mogetzeiten. You see, I still see it by the in the Ungarische crowd. They wear a vest. By Americans, it's not so popular anymore, a vest. But the Ungarische crowd, they all wear vests. Why I don't know. What the Indian is, there must be something, but they all wear vests. The vest had pockets on it. There were pockets up on top and the pockets on the bottom. And the wealthy people would have a watch that went between the two pockets over here, and in the middle was like a round clock, In fact, it was with a cover, and the cover would open up, And that watch, you weren't allowed to wear on Shabbos, because that was carrying. That was mamish carrying. Huh? Yeah, they used to wear a watch around, and
it was in the pocket.
In the pockets. Yeah. So that was mamish carrying. And the shaila is about the wristwatch. The wristwatch becomes a shaila of a tachshet. So it's another shaila. So women wear tachshitim on Shabbos, because the halacha is that that we're makel for the women. Why we're makel for women? Because they're not going to want to listen. Because mutter sheyeh shaygin v'yeh mezidin. Every woman wants to wear jewelry. State that the word the woman is called the keres habayis. What's the idea of a keres habayis? First is the foundation of the home, because she manages the home always. The husband's away and she's running the home. But where the Gemara says in the Kohen Gadol, "Chipa badei bad beisai." What does the Gemara say? Beisai zu ishtay, right? Why beisai? Why beisai zu ishtay? Because bayis is a Rosh Tevis. The Rosh Tevis said the base stands for bonim, children. The yud stands for yofi, for beauty, and the tav stands for tachshitim. In other words, what composes a woman? What is a woman's inyanim? So there's a Gemara in Ksubas, where the Gemara says one opinion is ein isha el bonim, and there's another opinion ein isha el l'yaifi, and there's a third opinion ein isha el l'tachshitim. So from the fun vet the word bias, but that's why it fits with the Chazal beisai zu ishtay. In fact, in Megillah Esther, halt Hashem bald by Purim, and by Purim state in the Megillah it says on Esther that Esther was related to Mordechai. Not the state ubemoisa via ve'imo ukacha Mordechai Rega Bas. So Pasha Rega Bas means he adopted her. It's a tashman. But the emphasis, there's a svara that she wasn't a youngster. She was I think 70 or 75 years old. So what's shata? She wasn't a poor orphan girl that her parents died. What? So the Gemara says, "I'll take a labas, I'll labayis." But we say, "Frekman afraga, why I'll take a labas, I'll labayis? Zoshtein labayis." Why is that? Why did they leave out the yud? So the answer, because the Gemara says that Esther, she was irakrakas hoisa. She was pale. She was pale. No vos like the Gemara. Like such a very nice expression that when everyone saw, they saw that this is a very fine person, So b'mel kumt chayis ba'ir het gefällt yofi. I would say so. Kachem matra loygu bas for bonim and for tachshitim, but not bias. So, but women tachshitim is a very important thing. That's why even there's certain things that the shaygos and Shulchan Aruch, if they're allowed to have it or not have it, but the state that you shouldn't, don't stop them because you're not going to enforce it. But by a man, that's a shayla. But so that's why some people are machmer. Bisman hazeh, there's a lot of frum people don't wear watches on Shabbos. A lot of frum people do wear watches on Shabbos, especially if there's an Eidav. But one of the problems with wearing a watch on Shabbos was that what happens if the watch stops working? If the watch is working, there's no problem to begin with. But once it stops working, it could be a shayla for muktzah. So you want to say it's a tachshet, but tachshet doesn't apply to a man. So that's why they had this question about a watch. Mashenken Yontif Sheni, which Yontif Sheni is Alpidin, Yontif Sheni is Chol. So therefore, by Yontif Sheni, he says over here that L'tzayda Chayla, there is a possibility to be Mekel.
I heard Mayor Harlech was wearing a watch on Yom Tov on Sukkot, and the Rebbe told him at first to talk about Zeger.
The what?
Mayor Harlech was wearing a watch on Sukkot when the Rebbe was giving the lulav and esrog. So the Rebbe told him at first to talk about Zeger if Yom Tov.
What was what? It's fair.
I'm
Okay, so I'm telling you, no, because that's why men didn't, because taksha doesn't apply to men. Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't need. Yeah.
We'll soon see in the next seif over here. In the next sefer, he talks about making noises, but also lashmiya kol shir. So some want to say that the Amol Gezeiten, the watches that they had, or the zegas that they had. I'm talking about a wall. So it used to have sounds to it, like every hour had a certain sound. So they connected also with a mashmiya kol.
Those clocks.
The clocks used to have certain sounds to them that you didn't have to see. If you heard this sound, you knew very well it's 3 o'clock. You heard this sound, you knew it's 4 o'clock. So that was also a shayla that they had with it. But today, I must say a lot of people I saw are makel. Especially with it, Hessel that the Rebbe told them not to wear it. But especially when it was an native, so people held if there's a native, there's no problem. Today, the people also go with the shita. The watch is not a tachshit. By men.
What is it?
By men, it's not a choshev thing anymore. I used to give kids in the yeshiva prizes, watches. I used to pay $1 and $2 a watch. I mean, huh?
That's different. You can't wear it. You have Apple Watch.
That's a computer. You
Yeah, that was another problem. Then there was a problem with the watches that if you press the button, so it lights up. So if you're allowed to do that on Shabbos, there was another problem with the watch. I mean, a golden azega, Gevus is a chosem atona. You know, and I remember when my daughters got married, I had to buy golden azegas, and I said, well, what kind of thing is this? To buy a golden azega is a few $1,000s. I said, I kauft my azega for $10. You know. They had the Timex watches. They used to sell them in every store. So I asked Rabbi Liss. So Rabbi Liss told me that the Gerer Rebbe said, that means the Gerer Rebbe, that's the one that was in Poland in his days. Huh? The Imre Emes. The one that was there was the Beis Yisrael, I think.
The father of Israel.
Huh?
The father of the Beis Israel, I think, no?
The Beis
Israel
is the father?
No.
He's
the oldest brother, I think. No?
No, oh yeah, but who was
His
the one
father.
that came from Poland to Israel?
I think Imre Emes.
Imre Emes,
Yeah.
that the Imre Emes said that the Tamas Megiddo a golden Zege Tzachosem is as a wissen as jede Minute is gewickelt in gold. Yeah, that every minute is wrapped in gold to know the value of time. Okay.